I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave.
I have to check myself. My mother said, if you don't bump into the devil 3 to 4 times a day, then 9 times out of 10 you're walking with him.
There's a saying, when the devil ignores you, then you know you're doing something wrong. Wait a minute, I'm not done now. You know, the devil goes, oh no, leave him alone. Hey, he's my favorite. Don't you bother him.
Yeah.
Conversely, when the devil comes at you, maybe it's because you're trying to do something right.
Now I will never be your hater, I'm your biggest fan. I hope it falls into place just how you planned it. Life could put you in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the intro and all that. You know, you gotta actually, sometimes you have to ask yourself, are you walking with the devil? You know, it's interesting that we all see ourselves as good people and angel and angelic and headed to heaven. But we don't question if our actions and our motives, and that's my dog, don't mind him, if our actions and our motives align with heaven or hell. And the thing that David Banner said in the beginning, when he started talking about, you know, if you don't bump into him 3 or 4 times a day, you might be walking with him. Some of us think we can put God up and down and put the devil up and down like a toy at Christmas, like when we feel like it. And somehow that's going to lead to, let's just say, life everlasting, right? I don't think so. And sometimes people, you know, are doing the I think we base God's blessing on us through the eyes of the American dream, you know, capitalism. If I don't have a lot of money and I don't have a lot of stuff, that means God doesn't love me. God ain't really looking out for me. And I forgot if it was a fighter that said it or a football player that said it. But they were like, you know, I believe in God, I pray to God, but understand, you know, when it's time for me and this person or me and this other team to go at it, you know, God is on both of our sides. So even if I'm praying for a win and praying that they lose, they praying for a win and praying that I lose. So guess who's got to duke it out? The two adversaries, you know, this person who's versus that person. God gonna step back and say, hey, you know, let the better man win, let the better team win. But we don't look at it in America that way. Like, God has nothing to do with capitalism. You know, ironically, man, God has nothing to do with, you could say, the racism in this country. God has nothing to do with that. But just because God doesn't have anything to do with it doesn't mean the devil doesn't. You see what I'm saying? So some people are blessed because you need some people are blessed to get the highest rewards that they can possibly get in their lifetime as payment for their eternal damnation. Let's do that. And every now and then, and truth be told, there are a bunch of people who are blessed, you know, even by God, who are going to have a great life and have a great afterlife, you know. But which one of those people know if they're walking with God or the devil? Because, you know, there's some people who like, look, man, I'm just rocking with whoever has me winning at the moment. And they'll go in any direction. That's trifling, you know, but that's the reality. And at the same time, some of us don't want to deal with the aspect of maybe we're not as good as as good of a person as we see ourselves. Because one thing about life is gonna make you make decisions to show you how good or bad of a person you are. And when you make good decisions, but they have bad results for you, it feels unfair. You know. And when you make bad decisions and it works out good for you, feels like I'm on to something. But you know right is right and you know wrong is wrong. And I think about this because some of y'all have not probably dealt with people who are in their final months or years of life, right? When they're older, not when they're younger, when they're older. I've seen good people die. And ironically, I haven't seen a good person afraid of death. Not one. And I've seen bad people die. And they die with regret. Regret. And wanting forgiveness, but regret. And I say that to say this. Be careful who you walk with. Because who you walk with is going to be who you live with. And who you live with is who you're going to die with. And who you die with is who you're going to be bound to when it's all over. And some people got to realize, you know, I need to make a change. And not, you know, not because I just want to get to heaven, but a change because it's the right thing to do. You know, I'm not saying, you know, try to be a friend of God because, you know, he gonna forgive you for all your sins and you can go to heaven and act like none of that stuff ever happened. I'm saying sometimes you should just walk with God because it's the right thing to do. You know, and we all have a moment where we lose touch of that. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna take you there.